We Bare Bears the movie is the final big storyline for these guys, acting as an ultimate conclusion for the episodes that came before. How did it stack up against the series? Let's talk about it. We Bare Bears always went out of its way to be different from some of the other Cartoon Network shows. There was a bit of continuity here and there with characters into their relationships, but for the most part, this was an episodic cartoon where you could just watch any episode you want and still understand what's going on. Grizz, Panda, and Ice Bear always get themselves in a bit of a pickle, but these are still relaxing stories and a nice breather from the story-driven shows. Despite the calm atmosphere, everything changes with We Bare Bears the movie, where the stakes are higher than ever before. People around the city are actually fed up with the bears, and not just for 11 minutes. After they use up too much electricity and cause a power outage, everyone realizes the bears are invading and that they belong somewhere else. Agent Trout steps in as the head villain who, along with these evil minions, vow to track the bears down and send them far away from society. We're dealing with a classic road trip adventure with danger of being caught at every corner. So alright, when we're talking about the story alone, it's not unique. You've probably seen more than a few other road trip movies with a similar formula, but let me be clear, this is not a bad thing. Just because a We Bare Bears adventure falls within the boundary of a generic plot, what really matters is the unique aspects it brings to the table. For example, what these bears are dealing with, and how that relates to the world around them. Grizz, Panda, and Ice Bear aren't wanted anymore, and their mission is acceptance. There you go! This is something we don't get a lot in fictional stories everywhere, hence why I think the story is meaningful. Not only did it allow for a ton of variety in events and constantly shifting situations, but we got to genuinely feel for the bears and their place in the world. When you're not accepted somewhere, it's hard. This idea is extremely relevant in modern day, and the portrayal of it in animated form gives us a chance for discussion. The characters mention that nobody wants them, that they can't fit in anywhere, and it's depressing. How can you be happy if nobody even likes you? Luckily, We Bare Bears isn't the kind of series to keep its viewers in the dark without any resolution or lesson. There are genuine things here that everyone should take to heart, especially of acceptance for people who are different from you. The movie story gets dark at times, but it's meant to show the harshness of reality, that the world isn't a happy, fun utopia some people would hope for. I think it's awesome that they're able to dive into such a hard story, yet still manage to keep a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, the bears aren't wanted, but there's still hope and the potential for change. Throughout the movie, we get to see the slow evolution of how everyone treats them, and it's done much better than you'd expect. Now, in terms of pacing, this big adventure once again works surprisingly well. Because we're dealing with a road trip, the bears are always on the move and never stopping in a single place for too long. You also have the constant threat of Agent Trout and his goons on the chase, so the stakes are high. The slowest part of the movie is probably the beginning, which makes sense because we're introduced to the characters and world, especially for anyone who doesn't know much about We Bare Bears. It has everything you could want, from action to emotion, and of course the comedy that helped make the series so special. And speaking on that note, a lot of the jokes are references or parodies to real world things. At the Animal Club, you'll notice a lot of famous viral videos and memes of long ago. They are amazing to revisit in modern day. Also, can we please just talk about these dancing crabs? Just when you think they can't get any better, they eventually get knives. This is everything I've wanted from a We Bare Bears movie. While the overall movie did pretty much everything right, there was one part of it that didn't feel as good, specifically for a series finale. It's that we didn't get too many proper send-offs to some of the recurring characters throughout the years. I know there's issues with runtime and the fact that this is all centered around the bears themselves, so it makes sense why a bunch of supporting characters barely did anything. But in the end, is We Bare Bears the movie amazing or awful? Well, if you couldn't tell already, it's amazing. The story's formula isn't anything to write home about, but the lessons of acceptance make this a more unique experience than ever before, which promises a heartfelt adventure. It never gets too dark or too light, always treading on a nice balance of what you hope to watch. If you call yourself a fan of We Bare Bears, then you need to check this out. It's a worthwhile send-off to a show that's been on the channel for 5 years, and the ending stands out in more ways than one. Do yourself a favor and watch. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.